So I have a blank C program which I have called list.c. In this, I'm going to start by writing a comment. I'm going to write a multi-line comment, so I'm going to write it between /* and //. I'm first describing the high-level purpose of the program that I am writing. So I'm going to say that this is a simple implementation, and it's suggesting a simple implementation of a linked list in C. What is a linked list? Well, that is a different data structure. That's not what we're going to do over here. My AI is suggesting a linked list because my file is called list.c. But no, I'm going to say it's a simple implementation of list square bracket int, but in C. Okay? Let me be more clear, of Python's list int, but in C, right? I will now specifically say, so specifically, we will implement the following functions, right? So what do we want? It's suggesting list create. No, not list create. We said we will call it empty list because this function will simply create an empty list, right? So this will create an empty list. Append, but we will do that last. We'll do first something very simple. Let's call the len function, right? Len will return the length of the list, right? And the index function to return the index of the first element. No, we won't call it that. Index, which will return the value at a given index, right? And here we will add including, so it's 0 index, thank you for that reminder, but let's also say including negative indices, right? That's what I want. And then append, which will add a value. And then it is suggesting other things which I'm not going to do. I'm going to leave you to do this, right? I'm going to add a few more notes here, which will be helpful, which is the list will be implemented as a struct. What is a struct? A struct is going to allow us to keep track of both the array and its length. So it's saying the list will be implemented as a struct containing an array of integers and an integer representing the length of the list. So that seems like a good suggestion. I'm going to keep that AI generated suggestion, right? So firstly, let's hash include what we need. We will need stdio because we probably want to print something, and we will hash include the standard library. Now you notice there are some red squiggles over here. That's because on this system that I am developing, there is no C compiler. This is unfortunate because it means that this AI generated code I'm not even going to be able to compile. So I am going to have to play compiler. I'm going to have to see this code and hope that I can catch any compiler bugs. C code is very, very hard to check this way. So it's very likely that there are going to be some errors that I'm going to overlook. But let's try and continue this process. So now let us see what it suggests. It's suggesting a struct. This syntax is a little bit unusual. So let's try and see if we can understand it. It's going to define a structure which is one or more things glued together. In this case, there are two things. There is an int star values, which is going to hold the base address of an array of integers. That is why int star. And then length, right? So let's put some comments here to help us understand what's going here. This is an array of integers. This is its length of the list. Now, I don't see here an opportunity for this array to grow in size. So let us say this is the current length of the list, and I might need one more field to be able to grow this array. So let us call this the size or capacity. That's an even better name. This is the current capacity of the list. So here's what's going to happen. When I do malloc, I'm going to allocate a certain capacity. And initially, nothing is going to be used. So the length is going to be how much of that capacity is currently being used, and hopefully this length is currently initialized to 0 to indicate that nothing is used. Now as I do appends, I'm going to eat into this capacity. At some point I'm going to reach that capacity, and then I will have to resize my array to make it larger. As a Python programmer, I never had to think about this, but as a C programmer, I will be forced to think about this. Now it's suggesting that we call it a list with a capital L. In Python, lists are with a small l, but we will live with this. So this is our struct list. This typedef is basically saying, from now on, whenever you see the word list, you should really think of this structure.